What's up? What's up? This is Kev.
Yes, he's a Backstreet Boy, but at 28 years old, Kevin Richardson is unquestionably a man. A quiet, intense leader, engaged to be married. That personality was forged not by the group's success, but by personal anguish in the wake of two family illnesses that hit very close to home. Rolling terrain and open country sky are a far cry from international concert stages or the fashion runways of Milan. But it was here, on the grounds of a summer camp run by his father, that Kevin Scott Richardson grew up.
I lived in a log cabin at the top of a mountain on 800 acres in the middle of the Daniel Boone National Forest in the Appalachian Mountains of Kentucky.
Gerald and Ann Richardson would raise three brothers. Kevin, the youngest, played Little League and excelled at football. At camp, Kevin helped out with the chores.
I used to mow the grass, dig ditches, help my father put in plumbing.
And at home, his father's record collection opened up a world beyond the hills of Kentucky.
When I was a little kid, when I was like 5 and 6 years old, I listened to my mom and dad's Ike and Tina Turner records and the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. I listened to Prince all the time. I would just like lay in the living room with the headphones and just lay there and listen to it.
One day, Kevin began tinkering around with an old piano in the camp's mess hall, unaware that his biggest fan could hear him.
My dad was walking by the mess hall one day, and he's like, he used to tell his friends this. He's like, I heard the prettiest sound coming out of the mess hall. And I was like, well, who was in there? And he's like, I opened the door and it was my son on the piano.
It was Kevin's proud father who uncovered his son's musical prowess, and it was his father who nurtured it. At Estill County High School, when Kevin pursued the arts with the same fervor that most jocks reserve only for the game, his father was his biggest cheerleader. After graduation, it would in fact be Kevin's dad, recognizing Orlando as a beacon for aspiring young talent who would encourage his youngest son to leave Kentucky.
Dad says, son, I'm not trying to get rid of you, but I think it'd be a good opportunity for you.
And in Orlando, Kevin would indeed find greater opportunity than any parent could imagine for a child. But Gerald Richardson would never get to see that. Putting his talents and handsome features to quick use, Kevin landed a gig at the Disney MGM studios, appearing as Aladdin in the theme park's daily parade. Back in Kentucky, however, Kevin's father fell ill. Not wanting to worry their son, it would be several months before Ann Richardson would call Kevin with the tragic news. His father had cancer.
I moved back home, and within about a month or two, he passed away. Are you with me now? When my father passed away, I wanted everybody to stop what they were doing and recognize it and realize it and kind of stop.
Stricken with grief, Kevin stayed home in Kentucky for nearly a year.
Fall came and then winter, and that winter was just so depressing, and it was just like I felt like something was calling me back down in Florida. I felt like my mom was cool, my brothers were cool. We were all mentally cool with my father's death and dealing with it okay, and I felt like I could leave again.
And so Kevin returned to Florida, now determined to honor his father's memory by achieving the success that Gerald Richardson had always believed was possible for his son. Today, the youngest son has become the eldest Backstreet Boy. Inspired by the confidence his father gave him and matured by the pain his passing brought, Kevin has become the group's leader. But when his first cousin, Brian Luttrell, had to undergo open heart surgery, those familiar feelings of potential loss and mortality returned.
When I saw him after he got operated on walking down the hallway with a friggin' IV hooked up to him, it opened my eyes, yeah.
I remember looking in the waiting room and seeing him in there, and he kind of turned a little white, thinking, wow, it's really happening.
It made me realize what's important. Right. And if you don't have your health, your career, if you don't have your health and your family and your happiness, your career don't mean shit.